If your erection isn't coming as it used to, it's not just age. It's not just stress. Very often, what's bringing down your firmness is the very first food you put in your mouth in the morning, right after you wake up. The detail is simple but powerful. The wrong breakfast can block your arteries like a knot, cutting down blood flow exactly where you need it most. Now, the opposite is also true. A single food, eaten at the right time, in the early morning hours, can open that flow, restore circulation, and bring back firmness almost immediately. It's natural, accessible, and in many cases, more effective than any expensive pill. That's what we're going to talk about today. How such a small adjustment can transform your intimate life, restore confidence, and bring back that strong response you thought was gone. Before we continue, do 2 quick things. First, check if you're already subscribed to the channel. That way you don't miss upcoming videos. Second, join the conversation in the comments. Write, "I eat" if you usually have breakfast every day, or "I skip" if you tend to ignore it. I want to see which side you're on. I'll never forget the first consultation with Mr. Robert. He was 72 years old and walked into the office with his head down, almost avoiding eye contact. When he finally opened up, the words came out low, almost in a whisper. "Doctor, I think my time has passed. I just can't anymore, and it's destroying me." It was easy to see the weight he carried. It wasn't just his body that seemed to have given up. It was his self-esteem, his confidence, even the way he stood in front of his wife. He felt invisible in his own home. I explained to him that it wasn't age stealing his strength, but rather small habits, repeated every day, silently closing his arteries. I showed him there was a simple path. Start in the morning, changing just one detail at breakfast. No expensive pills, no miracle promises, just nutrition applied at the right time. Robert accepted the challenge. 3 weeks later, when he came back, he looked like a different man. He walked in smiling, eyes bright, posture upright. He told me, almost laughing, "Doctor, I woke up today with a firmness I haven't felt since my 40s. My wife was surprised. I was surprised myself. That moment marked me deeply, because the transformation wasn't only in his body, but in his eyes. It was the expression of someone who had regained something he believed was lost forever. Living proof that when we give the body the right fuel, vitality can be reborn at any age. And this wasn't an exception. I've seen this story repeat itself with men in their 50s, 60s, even 80s. Always the same reaction: surprise, relief, an almost childlike sense of discovery. The body responds, the blood flows again, and intimate life gets a new chance. The human body is extraordinary. It never gives up on recovery, even after decades of bad habits. When you provide the right nutrients first thing in the morning, something happens as if you were unlocking a system stuck in energy-saving mode. The arteries, once stiff and narrow, begin to relax. It's like corridors that had been blocked with debris for years suddenly get cleared, allowing blood to flow freely again. This renewed circulation carries oxygen, energy, and vitality exactly to the area that sustains an erection. But it doesn't stop there. The inner muscles, the same ones that act as the foundation of firmness, receive more nutrients and start responding better. With more blood arriving, they can contract and hold pressure longer, keeping the erection steady. It's a chain reaction. First, the vessels expand. Then, the flow increases. Next, the muscles re-engage. Finally, the brain starts interpreting the process as natural again, restoring the man's confidence. What seemed lost comes back, not as a magical surprise, but as the result of a mechanism finally turning again. And the most impressive detail is the speed. Within just a few days, some men already notice subtle changes: more energy in their legs, less heaviness, night erections coming back. In a matter of weeks, The signs are even more evident: stronger rigidity, faster response, renewed confidence. It all begins with something that looks simple: choosing the right food for your first meal of the day. This isn't about miracles, but about biology. The body only needs the right opportunity to prove it can still respond, even after 60, 70, or 80. Among the many mistakes that sabotage circulation early in the morning, there's one detail almost nobody notices: the power of a single food, simple, inexpensive, and accessible, but systematically forgotten at breakfast. It doesn't appear in glossy ads, it doesn't come in flashy packages, and maybe that's why it goes unnoticed. Yet when eaten early around 7 in the morning, it becomes a quiet ally of male vitality. The reason is simple: this food carries nutrients that trigger the release of nitric oxide, a molecule that works like the master key of an erection. It's this gas that signals the arteries to open, allowing blood to rush in and sustain firmness. Without nitric oxide, there is no rigidity. With it, the body's doors swing wide open, and the response happens almost immediately. What's most impressive is that science shows timing matters. Right after waking, after hours of fasting, the body is more receptive. It's as if it's ready to absorb every gram of nutrient with maximum efficiency. That's why eating this food early magnifies the effect, sending the expansion signal to the arteries at exactly the right moment. I've seen men who spent years relying on expensive pills and suffering painful disappointments change dramatically just by adding this food to their routine. It wasn't a miracle, it was biology working on its own time. Within days, they noticed something simple but powerful. Their bodies started responding with firmness again. When placed at the center of the first meal of the day, this food acts like a spark that reignites a flame. It doesn't solve everything by itself. No single food does. But it sets the stage for the body to work with the erection, not against it. And now it's time to reveal the food so many men overlook. But that can transform circulation first thing in the morning. Whole eggs. Simple, accessible, often neglected, they are one of the most powerful tools I know to restore natural firmness. The yolk is packed with nutrients that directly support sexual hormones and muscle health: vitamin D, vitamin B12, and an amino acid called leucine. Together, these three elements reactivate the pelvic floor muscles, the physical foundation of an erection, while also improving the signaling the arteries need to open. The egg white complements this with easily absorbed protein, helping cells recover after the night's fast. But it's not only what they provide, it's when you eat them. Having eggs in the morning means delivering high-quality fuel at the exact time your body is most receptive, boosting absorption and ensuring these nutrients flow through your vascular system. The result is noticeable: more energy throughout the day, steadier circulation, and in many cases, erections returning with strength. Here's the practical part: overdoing it won't help. 2 eggs are enough for most men. Ideally, have them boiled, poached, or scrambled with little fat to preserve as much nutritional value as possible. Avoid heavy frying, since excess oil can cancel out the very benefit you're aiming for. Men who've made this change often report results within days. Some notice more energy when walking, less heaviness in their legs. Others describe something even more striking: spontaneous erections, firmer and longer lasting. That's not coincidence. It's the direct consequence of giving your body early in the day exactly what it needs to activate circulation and strengthen the muscles that support potency. Reaching this point means you've already grasped something essential. Erectile dysfunction is not an inevitable fate. In most cases, it's the reflection of choices accumulated over years. And the encouraging news is that just as habits can drain vitality, others can bring it back. Today you've seen how something as simple as adding whole eggs to your breakfast can reignite circulation and restore firmness. This is just one example of what happens when we give the body the right fuel at the right time. The body responds quickly because it never stopped fighting for you. It only needed the right signal. But here's the most important point. Nothing changes unless you decide to change. Letting the same mistake repeat every morning means continuing to drain your confidence, your energy, even your intimate life. On the other hand, taking one simple step at breakfast opens a new cycle where each week brings more vitality and greater certainty that there is still much to live for. The choice is in your hands. Time passes, but strength can remain. You just need to care for your body with intelligence instead of waiting for outside miracles. You don't need to accept the loss. You only need to start. And if this video resonated with you, if it gave you clarity and motivation, now is the time to act. Subscribe to the channel so you keep receiving practical, natural guidance that can transform your intimate health. Click like so more men can access this knowledge. And once you finish, check out the other videos here. Each one was created to help you restore your potency, your vitality, and your confidence. I'm the doctor walking with you on this journey, and I want to remind you, aging does not mean losing your strength. It means learning to use it with wisdom. See you in the next video.